In our English studies today, we'll be looking at defining clauses. I repeat, defining clauses. Before we look at what defining clauses are and the learning objective for today's lesson, let's have the correction to our previous homework. Are you sure you did your homework? Let's see. You were asked to write 5 examples of similes different from the ones discussed with you. I know you're bound to have things different from what I've written on the board. But at the same time, this is what I have. Titi is as slow as a snail. The simile is as slow as a snail. His knuckles are as black as coal. His knuckles are as black as coal. Last night, Amarachi slept like a log. Last night, Amarachi slept like a log. This morning, the water was as cold as ice. This morning, the water was as cold as ice. And the last one, after the competition, I am sure our pupils will shine like stars. After the competition, I am sure our pupils will shine like stars. So the examples of the similes that we have are as slow as a snail, as black as coal, like a log, as cold as ice, and shine like stars. Did you get something close to that? I trust you because you are amazing kids. Let me celebrate you with a cheer. Now to the learning objective for this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to use the words that, who, where, and when to introduce defining clauses correctly. I want to take it again. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to use the words, these words, that, who, where, and when. To do what? To introduce defining clauses correctly. Now, what are defining clauses? Defining clauses describes a particular object, thing, or person. That is, we're talking about now. You remember what a noun is? I trust you. A noun is the name of any person, animal, place, or thing. So defining clauses describes a particular object, a particular thing, or a particular person in a sentence. When you have a sentence, the descriptive element there, that is what is describing in that sentence, is the defining clause. I think you're following me. Words that are used to introduce defining clauses include that, which, who, when, and where. These are the words that are used to introduce defining clauses in sentences. Now, that, T-H-A-T. We use that for human beings, animals, and objects. We use that for human beings, animals, and objects. That means that can be used for various purposes. Now let's have examples. This is the book that I showed you. This is the book that I showed you to you. This is the book that I showed to you. The question is, which book is this? Which book is this? And the response will be the book that I showed to you. The book that I showed to you. So the defining clause in the sentence is what? Let's say it together. the book that I showed to you. It tells us more about the book. Don't forget we said it's going to describe. It described what happened in a sentence. We are done with that. T-H-A-T. We are going to another one. Who. W-H-O. Who. We use who for people only. Unlike that you can use for people, things. You can use that for people, you can use it for things. But who, you use it for people only. Example, this is the man who beat his brother. This is the man who beat his brother. The question is, who is this man? Who is this man? Then the response will be the man who beat his brother. So, what is the defining clause in the sentence? The man who beat his brother. I can see the smiles on your face. That means you're following the lesson. I appreciate your attention. The clause, the man who beat his brother, the clause here defines or tells us more about the man. I know some people who are not staying safe. I know some people who are not staying safe. Are you one of those people that are not staying safe? Please stay safe. What is the question here? Who are the people you know? Who are the people you know? And the response will be those who are not staying safe. So your defining clause is those who are not staying safe, because it defines those people. The next one is which. W-H-I-C-H. Which. We use which for things and animals, but we don't use it for human beings. It will be incorrect for you to use which for human beings. Examples. This is the house which Mr. Kende built. This is the house which Mr. Kende built. Question. Which house is this? The response, the house which Mr. Kende built. And of course, the defining clause is the house which Mr. Kende built. And the last one, where. Where. What do you use where for? We use it to introduce a place. We use it to introduce a place. Examples now. I live in a place where there is no water. I live in a place where there is no water. What's the question? Which place do you live? And the response, a place where there is no water. And your defining clause becomes a place where there is no water, because it tells you more about the place you live. She will keep it where nobody would find it. She will keep it where nobody would find it. Where will she keep it? Your response will definitely be where nobody would find it. And the defining clause is where nobody will find it. Because the expression tells us more about the place. When. When. We all know that when is used when we are talking about time. Let's have examples of that under that. I shall come when you return. I shall come when you return. When will you come? Your response will be when you return. And your defining clause is when you return, because it tells us more about the time that it will come. Activity time now. You are to fill in the blank spaces with that, who, which, when, and where. You are to fill the blank spaces with that, who, which, when, and where. Number 1, this is the man dash works in the farm. 2, I can see the table dash you bought. 3, this is the place dash I shall build my house. 4, I shall eat dash I return. And number 5, show me the boy dash stole your money. You have 1 minute to do that. Write just the answer and your time starts now. Eyes on me. I trust you. You would have finished supplying the answers. So let's do the correction together. Number 1, this is the man that works in the farm. This is the man who works in the farm. If you choose any of the 2, you're correct. Please tick it right. Number 2, I can see the table which you bought. I can see the table which you bought. Was that what you wrote? Please mark it. You're right. Number 3, this is the place where I shall build my house. This is the place where I shall build my house. It's talking about place. So if you chose where, then mark it. You are correct. Number 4, I shall eat when I return. I shall eat when I return. Right? Good. Good job, you. And the last one, show me the boy that stole your money. Or show me the boy who stole your money. Any one of the 2 is correct. So you can mark that. How many of you got 5 out of 5? Then you need to be celebrated with a cheer. Good job, you. Homework time. Good. For your homework, fill in the blank spaces with that, who, which, when, and where. Just the way we did it during the activity time. This is the stool dash I bought. 2, can I show you the book dash I bought? 3, 7 o'clock is the time dash people leave for work. Number 4, the sun shines dash it is day. And the last one, is there a place dash we can buy yams? Please make sure you do your homework, supply the answers correctly. I'll be looking forward to getting your homework either through SMS, WhatsApp, or whichever way. Maybe you snap it and send to WhatsApp. I'm eagerly looking forward to seeing your homework. We've come to the end of the English Studies lesson for the day. It's time to hand you over to the mathematician, Uncle Agbaje, for the mathematics lesson. Well done, pupils.